All right, guys. Joe McDonough here again for CageSidePress.com. I'm joined by Chaka Worthy. Chaka, how you doing, man?
Doing good, doing good. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. I mean, I think we have to have full disclosure here. You know, you're a Pittsburgh guy. I'm a Boston guy. You know, I'm sure you're a Steelers fan.
No, I'm actually not.
Really? Oh, all right. So who's
I
your team of
actually root
choice?
for the I actually root for the evil empire.
Ah, okay.
I'm a
Okay. Are you
Belichick
looking?
guy, man. I'm a Belichick
Oh,
guy.
there you. Perfect. That's all I needed to hear. What do you
And
think
now
about
they
this
got my
season?
boy Cam too. So
Oh yeah. Yep. I was definitely excited when I heard that signing.
hold on 1 second, real quick. My son.
Yeah. Yeah. No problem.
What up, boy? What up? All
You all
right.
good? So what's your prediction this year for the Patriots?
Bold prediction: if Cam can stay healthy, Cam gonna win a ring. If he could get back to his MVP form, I think he could win
Yeah,
a ring. That's my son
absolutely.
Malachi.
Oh, what's his name?
Malachi.
Is he going to be a fighter one day?
I don't know, man. I don't know. He really is in the school right now, so we just
Yeah,
pushing that
good.
right now.
That's a good thing to be into when
But
you're a kid.
he loves Godzilla and Sonic, and I really think he's gonna get into making movies, though. He really likes that.
Yeah, there's money there, absolutely. So I mean, take me through the last like 6, 7 months. As a fighter, just going through it all during quarantine. Obviously you got your family. Just take me through the good, the bad, the ugly.
Well, the bad is just simply we haven't been fighting. Like my last fight was actually canceled the day of the fight. Uh, so that was really bad. And then since then it's just been shut down. And I mean, training hasn't really actually been bad. I've actually been enjoying training. Um, it's been a lot more focused because you're just getting in and out of the gym. Um, so I've actually like the training's actually really been great. The downside is just not fighting right now.
Absolutely. And so you were supposed to just fight on Bellator at this point 2 weeks ago, and with your teammate John. I mean, just take me through that. Just finding out that it's canceled. You were a weekly replacement, and then it still gets canceled. I mean, just that must be tough.
Pretty much, yeah, it is. But I mean, I've had that happen to me since I started fighting, like 4 or 5 years ago. I've had maybe almost 10 amateur fights pulled out. I've already had about 6 or 7 pro fights canceled. So it's a downer, but I'm really kind of used to it. Like the day I found out the fight was canceled, we were right back in the gym, still sparring, getting John ready. So it's just kind of, we just train to train at our gym. So
Hmm.
when the fights come up, we'll fight.
Absolutely. And so, like you said, 5 years ago, you got into this at around 25. And
Yep.
you had, I believe, 8 amateur fights and now 5 professional fights. I mean, it's a lot in 5 years. I mean, take me through this process. I mean, 5 years later, are you exactly where you want to be?
No, I'm not exactly where I want to be, but I'm getting there. Like I said, I started fighting. I started training late in my life. I was 25 years old, so you just got to hit the ground running. And I love to fight, and I've been blessed not to be injured, so I've been able to fight and then take quick turnarounds. And that's kind of just like the whole mentality of our gym in Pittsburgh in general. It's like we're here to
Yeah,
fight. So once we say we're gonna be fighters, it's like, all right, let's just sign these contracts and let's do it.
absolutely. And so you've got a brother. You've got a brother that does some stuff for the UFC there. I mean, not many people when they're pro fighters have a brother that's also a pro fighter. I mean, just speak on the relationship of, weight cutting, training, everything, the ups, the downs, and then you've got your sibling right there with you that's going through the same thing. Just speak on that relationship where you're there for each other.
I mean, yeah, that's my blood brother. Like, so that's like that bond's gonna always be there. As far as the fighting goes, we keep it real like professional. No shortcuts, no like we get out there, we train hard. Like my first day in the gym, like he's like, all right, you gotta start taking the classes, etc. So it's always been just all right, get in there, you fight, you fight. But he's always a great support, of course.
Hmm. And so, you spoke on, your teammate John DeJesus. I mean, but just speak on Pittsburgh mixed martial arts and your gym in general. Just, how special it is to be there.
Man, like our gym is a smaller gym. and the city's kind of smaller, so everybody kind of trains together. But we get after it. Like every training session, you don't get after it. And I don't think everybody gets that type of training, even at those bigger gyms. It's like, yeah, you might be with a bunch of big name guys, but y'all ain't in there hungry and y'all ain't in there eating like we eating. It's just, I don't know, it's a different feel. Like, it's hard to explain, but guys that come to Pittsburgh and train with us, guys that come into our gym and train with us, they know what I'm talking about. And the promoters around here, they know too. That's why, like, they reach out to get us on these cards.
Absolutely. And you know, I think that when I've spoken with fighters, you know, those smaller gyms are so tight knit. I mean, I'm assuming that's the same with your gym.
Oh yeah. Like, that's the thing. Like, we're never not training, because we always got one or two people that's about to get ready for a fight. So it's always all hands on deck. And you're getting a lot of really a lot of good looks. So you're going to always get better. So it kind of makes you want to stay in the gym. And you got to hold yourself accountable to the team. Like, we expect ourselves to go out and win fights big. So when we go out there and fight, that's what we try to do.
Yep. And you know, like you said, you got into MMA a little later, 25. You know, what got you into MMA? What was that turning point?
I mean, I always still wanted to compete and stuff in sports. But I was down in Alabama in school and stuff. Started doing jiu-jitsu. Of course, my brother's fighting and stuff, but he's the reason why I came back to Pittsburgh. He was like, if you're going to really train and really try to do this, you got to come back up north and train at a really good gym. So it was like, all right, I made up my mind that this is what I was going to do. And once I make up my mind on something, it's like, it's a wrap.
Yeah. And what was the, you know, the dream sport when you were younger? I mean, was it always MMA, or was there a different sport when you were younger?
Wasn't necessarily a dream sport to like be a pro athlete or anything. Like, I played sports and stuff, but I don't know. Like, I always fought. So
Yeah.
you just say that, and now it's like, okay, they're paying people to fight, so let me get my cut.
Absolutely. And so, you know, what you know, this is not an easy lifestyle, obviously. You know, a lot of fighters have daytime jobs. A lot of fighters have, you know, 2 or 3 jobs. You know, you've got a family there. You know, how hard is it on the regional scene, the you know, still a prospect, you know, to kind of keep going and push to be that next level fighter?
I mean, I kind of keep it separate. Like, I still have my regular job. I work with youth in the city, Pittsburgh City, and throughout Allegheny County. But as far as fighting goes, if you're gonna say you want to do it, you just got to go out and do it. Like, I really spend all my time in the gym, but that's what I got to do. So it is what it is. Like, you don't really need motivation. It's like, okay, if you say you want to do it and you see what the good guys are doing, get out there and outwork them.
Yeah. And you just said you worked with, you know, with youth. How rewarding is a job like that? I mean, I'm a teacher. I'm a teacher in my real job, and it's just one of the most rewarding things in the world. I mean, you know, speak on that.
Oh, it's real good. It's great, especially around like this time, seeing some of the youth that we work with and how they're just adjusting and dealing with everything that's going on. It really keeps me motivated. It's like, wow, like, these kids are young and they're facing a lot of adversity, and just seeing the way that they're still achieving their goals and stuff. It really makes like fighting really, really not that big of a deal. So I don't know.
And so, you know, what is next for you? I mean, what is when can we see you back in the cage? You know, when would you like to be back in the cage, and where?
Man, when somebody calls me and says, "Yo, do you want to fight?" Like, I can fight right now.
Yeah.
Like I said, like, when I got that Bellator offer, like, it was a Friday night. I just checked my messages. They said, "Can you fight in 2 weeks?" I said, "Yeah." Went out, got my medicals done. Was just ready to go. Like I said, like, I'm always training. I could probably fight from like 140 to 130 to 125 right now, just depending on the time. So when anybody gives me a shot, like, I watch guys on the regional scene, I watch guys, you know, on the national scene and stuff, and I know what I can do. So I don't know. Whenever somebody sends me a contract over here, hopefully soon.
Yeah, absolutely. And so you were set to fight Mike Kimbel at Bellator. Obviously a very young and up and coming fighter. What was the biggest thing you were preparing for? I know it was short notice, so you didn't get a ton of time to prepare for it, but once you saw who you were facing, what was the biggest thing you were preparing for?
I'm just ready to do my thing. Like this last year, it's been almost a year since I fought. And like this year, I've really just been focusing on what I'm really good at and what I'm not good at, and just getting better. And I really don't care like what my opponent brings to the table. Like everybody has strengths, of course, but I'm gonna go out there and I can oppose my will. So, I mean, I was really looking forward to fighting with no fans and everybody hearing all the trash talk during the fights, and like that excites me, just fighting. So that was really what I was looking forward to, just the rawness of the fights.
Yeah, and I've been covering Bellator at Mohegan Sun, and one of the few media members in there, and when I talk to the fighters afterwards, they say that was a hard training, a sparring session in the gym. It felt like it didn't feel like I was fighting on live television or anything like that.
Yeah, that's what
but
I was like.
Yeah.
It sounds like a great idea. I'm like, we do that on a regular
Yeah,
basis.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, weirdly enough, Michael Chandler after his fight said that he loves the fans, but if he had it his way, he loved being able to hear his corner completely clear and everything. So, but when you talk to Bellator, have they kind of said stay ready? When that fight got canceled, that we might be giving you another call in the next couple of weeks.
Nah, not really. It wasn't they just informed me what had happened and thanked me for like taking the time to get everything together. And that's pretty much it. But we rocking and rolling. So
Absolutely,
somebody's gonna sign me someday, and we're gonna show everybody what's up.
absolutely, man. And so being on the regional scene, obviously with not many regional promotions up and running, LFA and those promotions are up and running, but how difficult is it as a fighter just trying to get fights and continue to get wins and continue to be on a roll? How difficult is it kind of for all this to kind of just halt your career in a way?
I mean, it was difficult at first, like because I had the fight that was scheduled the day that it got canceled, so that was big. That took a big blow. But after that, you just got to make adjustments. It's like, okay, say if you got injured and had to sit out for a few months, what would you do? Would you sit around complaining, or would you get better at what you could get better at? And that's pretty much how I've like taken this whole year, because it's almost been like a whole year. It seemed like, and I'm like really just excited to get back into the cage because there's so much stuff I've been working on that I could know like no one's gonna expect me to do, and it's gonna be nice.
Yeah, we're all excited to see that. And your brother has a UFC fight coming up. Have you been? I'm assuming you've been a main training partner with him.
Not as much. Like I'm kind of walking around lighter now, so I try to avoid him because he's very dangerous right now. Like I've given him a little play rounds here or there, but he's been getting a lot of good work in with a lot of really good guys. And he's just, he's always ready to go. So he's ready. He's ready to do his thing.
Yeah, and will you be in his corner?
No. He's got his 3 coaches, but I'll be at the house watching with my son, who's like one of his like biggest fans, who is crazy. Like it's crazy. Ever since he watched his first like UFC fight, it was just Uncle Khama. So
yeah. And does your son go to your fights?
No, he hasn't been to none of mine yet. He's watching my last one and a couple of them. Like I said, I kind of keep like different parts of my life separate. And I mean, the regional MMA scene ain't always the best for little kids.
Trust me, I know.
So, like,
yeah, you hear
I went on the road a lot. A lot of my fights, especially as an amateur, were all on the road and stuff. So I just go in, take care of business, come home, play with him there. But he's always in the gym with me, though.
Oh yeah, he's in the future for him. The future. Well, awesome, man. Awesome, Chaka. Thank you very much for the time. I think we're all looking forward to seeing you back in the cage, hopefully very, very soon.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Absolutely, man.